Yes, Komal, you are audible.
Okay, I would like to welcome you all to the webinar by Nature Club of GGSIUP IPU. Nature Club aims to provide an efficient ecosystem and conservation of nature. And I would like to welcome Professor Manpreet Kang and all the teacher coordinates to this webinar. Now I would request Professor Manpreet to address the webinar.
Okay, thank you so much. I didn't get your name. Good afternoon, everyone. I think
she's Komal, ma'am. She's the secretary of this Nature Club.
Thank you, Komal. Yes, secretary of the Nature Club. I think most importantly, first and foremost, we must welcome our guest speaker for today, Mr. Selvarajan, founder and secretary, Green Circle NGO. We are so happy to have him with us. And also, I must congratulate the Nature Club, which is part of the clubs under the Directorate of Students Welfare, GGSIUP University, which is organizing this very relevant and important talk, which is so, topical these days, environment ethics. And I'm sure whatever Mr. Selvarajan tells us is going to be of great value to us, because despite the euphoria, when we saw during lockdown that the environment has become clean, we're almost back to the same situation now. So we are all waiting to hear from Mr. Selvarajan, and I congratulate the organizers of this program, Dr. Anuradha Chugh and Dr. Sumit Dukia and Shri Gaurav Talan and Dr. Dinesh Kumar, who have put together this talk, which I'm sure is going to be very useful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words. I find immense pleasure in introducing our honorable guest, Mr. Selvarajan. Mr. Selvarajan is an environmental activist since 1990s. He is the founder of Green Circle NGO. Currently, he is doing a research study on nature and environmental facts in ancient Tamil literature. Now, I would request sir to start the webinar. Sir, the platform is all yours now.
Thank you. Is it Komal? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Professor Manpreet and Dr. Anuradha. And I don't know whether Dr. Smith is there. He is the guy who has called me, and he's my friend. We are working together in Green Circle also. Yes, today I'm very happy to be here and to a different audience, because normally I am addressing the people who are senior people, rather senior citizens, and also, of course, youngsters also. I have addressed a program for APJ school, and I'm really happy to be again with you. Earlier also I have come to your School of Environment, and I have made some presentations also. Well, this is a very happy occasion for me to once again reach you and discuss with the youngsters. And today I am very happy because the target audience is youngsters, and we need to depend on them only, because we have not, acquired this planet Earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed from the next generation, that is you guys. And you are also, again, you are going to borrow from your young people, your generation, next generation. So this is a borrowing, really. I am not the owner of this planet Earth, and I am not going to be remaining here for a long time. Therefore, it is very essential that whatever I can do to, repay whatever I have borrowed is what I am doing right now. And that too practically, and I am doing it down to earth. In fact, I am not a research scholar, or I am not a, doctorate or whatever I can say. I'm just a practical man who is doing environment for the last 40 years. In fact, I was a biology student. Yes, I was a biology student. And I was a very, very poor biology student. I was not so much interested, except that when my professor was talking about I was a zoology student. When he was talking about ornithology, I was so much impressed by his speech. And today, Professor Dan Westy in my spot in Bishop Weber College in Trisapalli. So I was a very bad student for him, and a union activist and all those things. So, but today I thankfully look at him. Because of him, I have come to the field of environment. I started everything as a birder because the one subject which was so interesting for me was migration of birds. And today I am a birder. I can identify around birds totally in India. I'm every day and I'm a bird. And basically, if you are surprised that I'm a banker, a professor, and a lecturer also. Right? On and study will be working and easily with person numbers. But the one which was so attractive for me is the nature and animals. So I was thinking about it. When I was in the college itself, I was most interested in going to places and seeing the birds. So I started with my first bird, which was falling on my balcony, and I was just not understanding what kind of a bird it is. The people my God, entry through birds. That's now definitely Indian bus observing all these things because the Great Indian bustard is going to vanish. It's only 90 or 150 somewhere around it throughout India. So this kind of things have made me. I was pulled into the environment field because of that. So with this one and just introduction, without wasting my time, because I think I can present around 45 to 50 minutes, not more than that. And later on, I will have a question and answer. Then we will close up this one. Yeah, let me go to the presentation. Can you see the presentation? Just tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I am running an NGO in Dwarka. Not running an NGO. I am a volunteer in an NGO, Green Circle. It was founded by me about 20 years back, and it is doing human service today. Hundreds of volunteers are there. We are all keeping aloof in our homes just because of the COVID-19. Otherwise, every Saturday we were in the parks and public places to pick up the plastics. And so I have got the right to talk to you about environment, though I am not a scientific or technical person about environment. Yes, I can talk from a practical point of view, how the ethics starts and what is its relation to the sustainability and all. So friends, I am just going to the slide. If you are seeing on the, madam, are you recording? I am not able to record. Please record it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are recording it, and definitely after the session, we'll share it.
Thank you very much. Because I can use it for other youngsters. That's what I.
No, sir. We are the people from IT industry itself, sir.
Oh,
we are better equipped with all these things.
So nice.
Sure, sir. We are recording. Yes, sir.
Okay. So nice of you. So. Environmental ethics and sustainability. I am just going to my first slide. That is, it is a discipline in philosophy. It's a subject itself. In foreign countries, they have got a special course and other things about it. But I am not I have not got any technical expertise in it. Whatever I am going to talk is from my practical point of view. It's a discipline in philosophy that's studies the moral relationship of human beings to the environment and non-human content that includes living and non-living beings. I think it is the relationship of human beings with the other non-living organisms, what is called environmental ethics. What is the relation? Is it ethical or unethical? This is what I'm going to discuss with you. The photographs which are appearing on the side are not irrelevant for you because these are all the photographs which I have taken whenever I'm going on trekking and mountaineering and nature trails. So this I'm sharing just to have some attraction. That's all. Well, in simple terms, it talks about how truly you are concerned and connected to the environment you are living in. Yes. Many of us are not connected. In fact, reality says that many of us are not connected. Because we come to the office, we go to the office, we go to the college, we do some research. Sorry, you are all researchers. Many of you are researchers. We do the research and we present the papers. And when we go outside the streets, when there is a garbage is there, we are not picking up. Where is the ethics in our part? So I'm not telling about you. I'm blaming myself also. So I am trying to explore in this small presentation how well we are connected and what can be the connection which we can have. So this is what is environmental ethics all about. So guys, so ethical standards, just let us know what are the standards. Standards means a typical, you can say that norms or whatever it is. But before going to the norms, let us say what is your personal choice. Personal choice means आप market में जा रहे, you are going in the market and you want to buy something. You are not carrying your bag, cloth bag with you. You are not carrying your cloth bag and you are just going to the shopkeeper and asking, ek thaili de do. You are just taking the plastic bag and you are coming back. Whatever is the thickness of the microns, you are not bothered about at that time. You are not seeing whether it is beyond 50 microns or small, lesser than 50 microns, all these things. There is a law in Delhi that it should not be more than, less than 50 microns. But is it so? But we are seeing that personal choices are that, even I am also making mistakes sometimes. Whenever I go to the market and my wife rings up and says that, please bring some banana for, my God, I have not brought any plastic, any bag, cloth bag. What I will do? Okay, whatever is, taili mein dal do yaar, bas. We are going into it. The personal choices, to carry it in your bag, you need to carry it, but we are not doing it. This is one thing, a standard which everyone has to keep. In what way I am committed to environment and how much I am going to contribute. Every single thing is going to save your environment for your posterity. Environment is not an interesting topic for many guys. I tell you honestly, most of you are in environmental science and all those things. I agree. But environment means they are going out. See, I have a YouTube channel and, the YouTube channel, I have got it. And it is for environment. But how many are the subscribers? When I am talking about some food or some, some dances or anything, or kitchen or something, lakhs of subscribers will be there. That is one of the things which I am seeing. But environment means everyone is going away. Because we are not linked to environment. We are not connected to environment in any way. We don't want to get connected. Personal choice is very, very important. How you are going to relate it. You guys are all in the nature club and you should all have got some kind of ethics developed in your own selves. You need not require any norms and standards. But I am going to bring to you the next one, moral values. This is also one of the ethical standards. One is personal choice. You need to have some personal choice to save the environment. Next one is moral values. I am thinking of my father's time when I was in schools and college. I was entering into the college at that time. I was so naughty and I was very playful. And my father was a little bit scary about my movements. And he told me, listen, you need not follow me whatever you want, whatever I say. You need not follow me. But give me a promise that you will not smoke. Why? Smoking is injurious to health. It's not morally also. It's not good. It's morally not good. I was thinking twice about it. Okay, Dad, I'm just giving you the promise. I will not smoke. So the moral values, our parents and grandparents were having it imbibed in their own blood. They were keeping the environment clean. They were not using many technology-driven products. They were not going in four-wheelers. If you are seeing in a house, there will be four cars will be available in every home. One for husband, one for wife, one for child, one for young boy, one for young girl. All four. And there will be a kind of pressure from the society where you are living that, no, we will allow only one car, we will allow two cars. luxuries, and in moral values in those days were all practically, adapted to nature. They were all going by walking. They were going by cycle. They were going by bus and trains. Second class trains. They were not going in air-conditioned trains in those days. I remember even, one of the lucky things for me, I can say that I am living in both the era, olden era before 2000. I can say that it was an era when it was not much technology driven. And after 2000, almost technology has taken over. And now every bit of life has become mechanical. In olden days, all moral values were there. So these things, personal cleanliness or your environmental cleanliness or whatever it is all imbibed in your day-to-day life. That was amazing indeed. But whenever I have answered, I'm lucky to be in both the era, now in the modern era as well as in the old era. I remember when I was a boy, how we were all looking at the environment. हम सब लोग कुछ भी नहीं जानते. Until I read a chapter in environment management in zoology, third year, then only I understood what is environment management. Until then, I was not aware of it. Honestly, none of us were aware of it. But we were all having a very clean environment. Our population was only 30 crores, and now today it is 130 crores. And resources are limited. Resources are very limited. Whatever was the resource which was available in India around 30-40 years is available right now also. Resources are limited. Our usage has become very high, and population is also very high. Environmental issue, another environmental issue. These are all the things. Morally, we are now going wreck. Now coming to the rituals and conventions. One simple ritual I will just tell you, I'll share with you, is that that people tree. कहीं भी societies के पास कोई भी दे जाके देखेंगे एक people tree होगा. In that people tree, if you come around that people tree, your mothers, your the older generation people, now they don't have that olden era. What they do is they carry all the rose petals, everything, puja materials, murtiyan, tutta murtiyan. I mean, whatever is broken, with a broken hand or broken head, all this murti, everything they will dump on the people tree. Ritual is that we need to keep our people tree as mandir. Religion says that people tree is our mandir. Will you keep your temple unclean, dirty? No. But today we are all doing it. The rituals and conventions which were there in once upon a time are all completely relegated to the back seat. It's a life of convenience and comfort which we have come into. We have got a project in Green Circle which is called Pavitra People Project. I will show you a slide in the last so that you can see it. Every Saturday we clean one people tree in Dwarka, and that people tree we will go there and completely jump on the surrounding, and we used to take all the plastic and keep everything, put it in the plastic in the non-biodegradable and biodegradable segregate, then dispose them out. This is what the rituals are changing. Norms and standards. When you are not able to follow the rules and regulations yourself, where self-discipline is lacking, there the ethical standards should be in the form of norms and standards. The government has given that garbage should not be burnt. But if garbage is burnt, you will be penalized. If you are nailing a tree and you are nailing, those who are nailing the tree will be penalized with 10,000 rupees. Law is there, rule is there. But you see every tree, lighting is there around the tree. And hundreds of thousands of trees are there. Why not you guys, youngsters, go from your university campus, go out in the roads, plug out the nails yourself, and save the tree from nailing. Nailing is if somebody is nailing on your hand, how it will be pricking. Just imagine, like Jesus. The same thing we are doing harm to the trees. In Bangalore, in Mumbai, somebody has plucked out around 5,000 nails, and his name came in the papers. Why not the Nature Club initiate this action? So norms and standards are there. When we are violating certain things, or when it is going to harm, rules, norms, standards, things are coming. This is about the ethical standards. Now, I have given the 4 facets, sorry, again going back to the slide, 4 facets of the ethical standards. There are 4 dimensions. One is personal choice, another one is moral values, third one is ritual. By ritual also, at least you be, by practicing certain rituals, you be clean and environment friendly, or norms, strict rules. So when we are coming to that one, finding that there is a certain norms and ethics are there, I have just explained to you what is the fundamentals of ethics, environment-related ethics. Now, what is the conflict, human conflict with nature? Disasters, man-made disasters. I'm not talking about the natural disasters, man-made disasters. Take for example, if there is a flooding in the rivers, it is not happening just like that. We have encroached into the banks of the rivers. You know what happened in Kedarnath? You know, these are all basically due to the human mistakes. Cloudburst was there, I agree, but it was a natural phenomenon, and the water could have been receded itself. But you know how many buildings were damaged in the Kedarnath, floods after that. You know, all were washed out. Hundreds of lives were lost. Disasters. This is a conflict. We are overusing the natural resources. Threat. What is a threat? You know, I can say, for example, if you are going to create a deforestation, it is a threat to the nature. But deforestation is going on. Man-made deforestation is going on. I'm sorry to say, even the government is also now following this kind of things. Now, you know that you must have heard about that Central Vistas near Parliament. Around 40-50,000 crores are going to be spent for redeveloping the Central Vistas. Hundreds of trees are going to be felled. Now, how many of you know that in your own sector, in your Guru Govind University, just near to the campus, many plants have been transplanted? I have put a video in my YouTube, please. You can also see that one. Transplantation trees, trees are transplanted. You know what for? Development. I'll come to that development. Threat. We are threatening the environment. This is one conflict. Consumption. There is dire need of consumption. You know, today, agriculturists are going, farmers are going on strike for minimum support price and other things. All over the country, agricultural lands are there. Around 25% of the, 25% of the lands are roughly around forest, and around 55% of the lands are the agricultural lands in the whole Indian land area. Now, this 55% of this land area are agricultural land because we have intruded into the forest and we have taken it over, no doubt. But as long as human conflicts with nature is there, where there is no imbalance and we are getting proper rains, proper harvest, proper monsoon, everything is going on very systematically, which was happening for millions of years, is going on even now, there is no problem. But in the last 20 years, amazing, in Chennai, around 8 or 9 cyclones were reported. And you know, the city was completely, ruined because, you know, what happened was important lake, Sambrambakam Lake was there in Chennai. That is a very big lake. Lake means you might not have seen this such a big, it's like an ocean. That lake has been intruded and many property mafias have constructed buildings in it. And the low-lying areas have been constructed. You know, that is why the entire Chennai was under waters. Now, consumption means what? You know, we must give room for the forest lands. Now, forest lands are being intruded, and we are in the name of mining, in the name of other kind of activities, the forest lands are being misused by us. And who is to stop it? Who is to stop it? You and I, we are trying. Environmentalists are not having that much powers with them. You know, you have to fight along against the very big setup. EIA has come to stay, all of you know. Environmental impact assessment, which was completely ruined. In 2006, there was an environmental impact assessment, which was completely undergoing a sea change, and they have given a draft, and draft is going to be made a law. And if you see that environmental impact assessment, you and I have no right to intervene in any kind of encroachment within the forest or anything, mining activity or whatever it is. They only talk about compensating forestation. I do not know. How can you compensate? When 70, 100-year-old tree is now just like that fell, and if you are going to bring one small plant in it, you 10 plants. There is a law in Delhi, Delhi Tree Preservation Act, according to which if you are going to fell one tree and you bring some 10 trees, 10 trees with only 1 meter, less than 1 meter, how much time it will take to give that oxygen? Can you manufacture the oxygen in your lab? If you are able to do it, I don't have any objection. If one guy was saying, sir, I was taking a class long back, around 30, 40 years back. School student was, sir, if we are able to produce the oxygen in the labs, then why should we depend upon the trees? 1 minute I was shocked and I could not answer him. And I told him one clear thing after that. After a little bit thinking, we learn when we are teaching, actually. Teachers will agree with me. Really, when we are teaching you, there are several questions which are unanswered will come up. This question, I was little bit hesitant. If lab, they can produce oxygen. Yes, there is no need for trees. But I was little bit shocking, but I was managing somehow. And I told this guy, look here. If you can produce oxygen in cylinders for about 100 crore people, at that time it was only 100 crore people, in India alone, I welcome you, then we will not go for trees. Wait for that day. And we were smiling and it is not possible, sir. So that is it. Certain things cannot be produced in the labs. So these things are, consumption is one thing very important. Carelessness. I'm not concerned about this, carelessness. Why? See, for instance, I tell you the sparrow which I am showing here was a sparrow which I have clicked around 1 year back before COVID-19. I was in search of sparrows in Dwarka and I found it. Somebody told you, come to this place, you will be finding sparrows. Why the hell you are going for sparrows? Our grandmothers were showing the sparrows for making the grandchildren to eat something. See, the sparrow is eating, you also eat. But today we are not concerned about it. One of my friends asked, hey, is it sparrow? Somebody was asking me, is it sparrow? Yeah, this is sparrow. Sparrow has become a rare commodity because we are careless. And kabutar, this pigeon is spreading like anything. Again, it's the carelessness. We are going on feeding. Why we should feed almost everything? Again, ritual and other things will be told by the people. They have come to live and the birds know how to take their own food. They know the natural mechanism. In the very severe winter, this bird is without any dress. It can tolerate up to minus 30, 40 degrees and up to 45 degrees plus. So we should be trying to live with the nature. That is very important. Carelessness is carelessness. I tell you one simple example. There is a Lal Paddi and there is a number of cars are standing there. You just, on Sadarji is just crossing the Lal Paddi and he is going fast. This is carelessness. What will happen? Forget it. So this is for a general carelessness, but I am telling about environmental carelessness also. Somebody who is spitting there everywhere in the streets, or somebody who is felling the trees like anything. I am seeing people felling the trees without thinking out. So what? So what is the question? So what? Then luxuries we are unable to. With one car, there will be sitting only one person will be sitting, not 4 people. So these are all carelessness. Our conflict with nature, pollution is increasing. And we are saying, no, pollution is increasing. Yeah. Why not pollution will increase? Pollution will increase like that only if you are going on like this. I'm sorry to say in my WhatsApp group, I wrote yesterday, somebody has written that we must go to cycle, eco-friendly cycling, we must switch over. Immediately another person just put on another message. No, this is not the genuine time for going out in cycle. pollution everywhere. Who has created this pollution? All because of the cars, automobiles. And now we do not want to switch over to the cycle because we want to safeguard ourselves from the pollution. It's we who have done it. Carelessness, all this carelessness. Destruction. Go on, destruct. I tell you, maximum 40-45% of our environment is being spoiled because of the land mafias. Destruction. Everywhere destruction is going on. Sarojini Nagar, I was fighting a case against redevelopment of this thing. Number of trees, around 50,000 trees are being, felled, and we were all fighting against it. And that case was going on in the court for a long time, and now they have again started it. We are not that much powerful where we can strongly say that, yes, nobody should disturb the environment. Lutein area has been looted. Lutyens was a British person who has brought a beautiful appearance to Delhi. No other city can have such a beautiful area in the NDMC areas. Fabulous area. All have been now, trees are being felled, multi-story buildings are constructed. Our bureaucrats are not interested in going to Dwarka or far-off places to stay there and commute to their place. They want to stay near the parliament. They want to stay near the government offices. So therefore, they want all their quarters to be within a hand's reach. Again, just imagine what is that? Development. Development. What is development? I do not know. I will say that sustainable development, it is only in the papers or in the papers presented in the universities. Sustainable development, papers presented in the universities, and fabulous ideas we are giving how to have sustainable development. Are you taking care of just a small park to develop it and bring it as a natural place? We are not. So I do not know what to talk about development. Now I'll just give you an ethics landscape. Okay, this is an ethics landscape. I just want to diagram it. I was just looking. You are all college students and most of you are research scholars. I just wanted to know how to reach you, and let us see. Let us build a landscape. So this is one landscape which I have built it. Now, first of all resources came from nature. Nothing has come out from the atmosphere except sunlight. Except sunlight, nothing has come into this planet Earth. And luckily, we are the only planet where human beings, animals, living organisms, microorganisms, including coronavirus, we are all living here. No other planet life is so far detected. And all resources are coming from natural, because it takes billions of years to come to this particular stage. We have come to this stage today that it has taken billions of years. Very honestly, even only this generation and our previous generation, they have got some ideas about what is science and what is all these planets and other things are about. Just imagine around 200, 300 years back, they were not much knowing about the scientific truths of our environment and other things. Either from the land above or sky, from the land below or sky above, all resources come from nature. Except sunlight, solar energy, other things are not coming from other things. So, if this is the scenario, now whatever is available in our atmosphere within this 10 to 50 kilometers ozone layer, until ozone layer, this is the area where we can live. And the environment is all ours. And we have got a choice, either to consume or conserve. Either to overconsume or less conserve. Don't conserve. If you overconsume, we are not going to conserve. I want, as an old man, 65 plus, I require 3 rotis in my breakfast. If I start consuming 6 rotis, one is I am not taking care of my own frame. Second one, I am not taking care of one who is deserving some food. So this is it. Now, 130 crore people are there in our country. You know, during this winter, you must just appreciate that many people are sleeping below the flyovers and in the slum areas. And we people are all sleeping in a cozy environment. The farmers who are on the strike, they are all suffering that, and they are all struggling to, I mean, whatever may be the politics and behind that, I don't know, don't go to that. Farmers are suffering. Farmers are bringing us food. And when farmers are bringing food, they must get the comforts. Maybe you can say so many arguments for and against, that is all there in the game. Now I'm coming to that. We have to consume optimum level, not only our food, everything, environment also, we have to consume only to the level which we require, not more than that. All the resources are limited. As I rightly told in the previous some time back, we have got some, please, one of you, please tell me, caution me after 45 minutes, please. I may be, see, the lecturer has got one funny habits that going on like in me. I may also go like that, but.
No, sir, we are enjoying, sir. Yes, sir. Oh,
so nice. Thank you very much. So the consumption point, we must consume whatever is needed. See, I share my own personal life also. My wife is sitting it's my office just adjacent to my house. And my wife, whenever we are coming in the evening, we meet together and see the TV. At that time, she never allows any lights in the 3 bedrooms and other places. And nowhere she allows she is an environmentalist. I used to tell, you are a better environmentalist than me. And she doesn't allow. The unfortunate thing is that even when in the washroom also, she will be switching off the lights. So much when I'm using it. So conservative, not conjuice, but she is very conservative about the money spent and energy spent. She is very conservative. Even in cooking also, she used to use the burners in such an optimal way that she whenever I used to go for coffee, she said, no, don't put the burner in full, put it in sim. This is enough. So like this, I learned much things from her about the environment, micro aspects of environment, which we think of macro level environment and we are just missing so many things. My home was energy efficient home. Sometime back, one certificate has come from BSES, electricity department, in green home. Like, how it wasn't, because we were consuming only the less. Believe it, last 6 months, I don't have any energy bill at all. Of course, this month I'm using heater. I will be having electricity bill. See, conserve energy. Conserve everything, not consume. I'm not asking you to be consumed. Conserve everything so that your economy is good and the environment, ecology is good. There are 2 options for that. One is ecology. When ecology is good, your economy is also good. Always I compare this both. Both are starting with the word eco. When ecology is good, economy will be good. The first thing, very important thing is resources. When we are having 130 crore people, but the same resources which were available some 40, 50 years are now available, that means we have to learn to live within our things. This is one of the ethics. Then comes the third point, Darwin's theory. All of you may be knowing survival of the fittest, struggle for existence. Survival of the fittest. This is another topic which I loved in my biology studies in my college. How the life originated, struggle for existence, and all those things. Now, this Darwin's theory is holding good, even though mentalism and so many things have come, how the life has emerged, and many things have come in the zoology studies and all. Of late, some other things, genetic engineering has come, all those things have come. But the fundamental thing is struggle for existence will be there between all kind of people, even among yourselves. Some 20, 30 scholars or research scholars are there now. Who is doing the best one? They will get the award immediately. So struggle for existence. This is that, and survival of the fittest. So there are many living organisms which have done. I was telling about Great Indian Bustard. Dr. Smith is doing research and very beyond research. He is doing some good work with the villagers there. Hats up to him, actually. Environment professors and people must come like that to down to the earth, to the field, and they must do something for the, not only for the species, conservation of species. That, he's doing that conservation of species has helped so many people who are working on it, villages, given some employment. That's a great thing. So, and we are preserving one great Indian bustard, which is a very unique species, which is not available in other countries. And in India and Pakistan, of course, there is some birds are found now recently. So, this is another important thing in the environmental ethics. Solution lies in striking a balance between the man and nature. And this is the thing which is going on right from my college days when I was doing my biology. Man and nature, what is striking the balance? In those days, we were not knowing much things about it, except the cell cytology, which we were talking about it. And deep study was not there in the biology about the environment and all this things. Fact bata raha hu, just telling the fact. I learned about these environmental aspects only in the 90s and 2000s. Sustainable development is the key. I will even say the sustainable environment. A new terminology I would like to put. Sustainable environment. See, environment, you cannot save it. But sustainable environment is the key. Bharat Vandana Park is there just very nearer to you. Bharat Vandana is a big area, sector, I think it is 18 or something, 18, 19. In between that, that Bharat Vandana Park has got 200 acres of land, and you will be surprised that 25 nilgais are there, hundreds of peacocks are there, monitor lizards are there. And this park is now going to be created into an amusement park. Amusement park, what do you mean by that? Eat out, food courts, all these things will come. And you will have all kind of, there is a beautiful water body inside. Fabulous water body. It's having natural source of water. Before Dwarka was developed, Papankala was there. Papankala was a very remote village area and dry area. And in between there was one stream which was flowing. That stream used to go through the, that Bharat Vandana Park. And that was a lake, that low-lying areas, there is a jeep. And this is now going to be made as a boating center. Ultimately, this amusement park, when I was taking up this case and I was fighting this case and protesting, streets mein dharna kar raha tha, jab main kar raha tha, one mafia has called me over phone, Mr. Rajan, what do you want to do? We want that it has to be developed into a biodiversity park. No, आप अपना काम करो, कोई प्लांटेशन करो, कुछ काम करो, इसमें हाथ मत लगाना. Why? इतना ही मैं बोल सकता हूँ, हाथ मत लगाना. कमाल है. What will happen? Is it nothing? Is it? आप काफी काम कर सकते हैं. You are an environmentalist, do so many things. Don't leave it, because why he is telling about it? He is a mafia builder, and he wants that particular area has to be developed into an amusement park so that more people will be coming and more property sales will be going on in the sectors around it. This is what he is imagining. But he is forgetting that our lungs are being killed, completely teared off. Lungs are being teared off. The only lung in Dwarka, many of you, the university is in Dwarka, so that's why I'm telling. The only lung in Dwarka is in Bharat Vandana, 200 acres. You can beautifully develop into an urban jungle, Miyawaki forest, and all those things can be developed. But we have ruined it. You can't see the monitor lizard. You cannot see a nilgai. A beautiful sight, you must go inside. It is like trekking, you will go inside. And I have gone several times. So, what is needed is a sustainable development. Now, this is an animated slide, and just for you, I'm just giving it. All of you know about the food chain. On the bottom, you are having plants and other things. On the next area is your fishes, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. Then comes the mammals, and then monkey. From monkey, the human beings. This is a pyramid. This is a pyramid. Ethics fail where ends. This is the title of the slide. What I am talking about ethics here is, now you are going to see these fellows, two people are the human beings who have gone to the top, and we are standing. We are dabaraham. We are pressing on the other. If Only human beings are here. But the rest of things are gone. Can we exist? It is a fall for all of us. We will be doomed into the ocean. Finished. Why not we understand these things? Environment is very essential. Human alone cannot exist. This is the purpose of this animated slide. My beautiful bird, which is my favorite. I have taken this bird in Nainital, Satal area. And this is called a Veritable flycatcher. Dr. Smith must be knowing it. And very rare bird. Here in Delhi also we can find it once in a way. And this is one of the beautiful birds, colorful birds. We'll be missing it after a century or 2 centuries. This is what I would like to say. I just put it what a beautiful sight it is, Colorful small bird. It is like something like a sparrow. Lovely bird. Now, what is unethical? Ethics के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा था, right? Now, what is unethical, sir? क्या unethical? Violating the rules? Vehicles must be having pollution under control certification. What is PCU? PUC? Pollution under control certification. Who is giving it? Government is giving it. For whom it is given? For every vehicle it is given. I remember I used to go by scooter about 25 years back from Vikaspuri to Rajendra Nagar to my office when I was working in the bank. And, when I go to my office and sit in my loans department, some people will come from the petrol bunk. They are having bank account with us. Petrol, sir, aapko chahiye kya? PUC chahiye? PUC chahiye? It is a sticker in those days. So PUC chahiye, what do you mean by PUC? I was not aware because I have come from South and I was not much knowing about all these things. So, ये क्या है? मैंने पूछा था PUC क्या? Pollution Under Control Certificate. किसके लिए देते हैं? गाड़ी के लिए देते हैं. आपके गाड़ी में पोल्यूशन नहीं है करके सर्टिफिकेट. तो चेक पर करो ना मेरे गाड़ी को. I was innocently asking. No, कोई जरूरत नहीं. अरे सर कोई चिंता मत करो. स्टिकर आपको मिल जाएगा. आपको चाहिए बताओ नंबर, गाड़ी का नंबर बताओ. I am talking about before 2000. And now, after that, that law has slowly evaluated into some other stronger law. What has come now? You have to get it checked. Your vehicle has to be checked. And pollution under control certification must be taken once in a year. BS vehicle 4 and above. BS4 is the standard, Bharat standard 4 and above. You need to have a sticker for 1 year, and before that you need to have a sticker every quarter. This is the rule. So this vehicle, I have to take it to the petrol bunk and get it tested, and then they will make minor adjustment, and then they will give us a pollution under control certificate. Now, the one who was done by my petrol bunk friend was a violation of rules. Now, what is a violation of rules? Many of the people are not having pollution under control certificate. And even if your PUC is there, it is just for कागज पूरी करना. ये एक word है, कागज पूरी करना है. इसके लिए you are making this thing. You are not honestly seeing that whether my vehicle is polluting or not. Now BS6 standard vehicle has come. Hereafter BS6 standard vehicle only will be come to the market, and we have to buy that vehicles only. That means your pollution level will be very less as far as the new model is concerned. Now, Sheila Dixit was there, I think, long back, and when she was there, she has brought the CNG. CNG was, I tell you one thing, forget that CNG is a good fuel, green fuel. Anybody saying it's a green fuel, sorry, you are mistaking. There is no fuel which is green. There is no cracker which is green. There is no fuel which is green. There is no cracker which is green. Whatever is burning is not green. Okay, I am coming to the violating of the violating rules. So we are violating the rules. Now today, I am hearing that there is some rule is going to come that petrol bunks will be giving you petrol only if you are having PUC certificate. Let's see how it's going to work. Basically, if we are using the transportation, the public transportation, we are going to save it. Violating the rules is one thing. Second one is intentional damage. This is intentional damage is one thing which is done by some of the very powerful people who are in the society, politicians or whatever, mafias and other things, these are all deliberately doing. So क्या होता है? Plant को निकाल दो, trees को निकाल दिए. There is I was fighting against the Dwarka Expressway, what do you call that, transplantation also. The trees should not be felled, and I was fighting against it. When I put it in the YouTube, there were some 20-25 remarks were there that which are against, saying that bakwas hai, thumbs down, all these things they have given it. But today, if you go to the Kapaskera area and towards the Shivamurti, and you will be finding that almost all trees are raised down. It is intentional damage. And there is a law, and they have, it has to be, environmental impact assessment has to be made. There are ways how to save these trees, but we have overlooked it. Very easy ways, raise it. And if people are environmentalists are, protesting, the only way is now you pluck out the tree as if you are plucking out a small plant. छोटा सा plant को निकाल के दूसरे जगह पे रखना है तो ठीक है, आप 1 foot or 2 feet का जो plant है वो निकाल के करेंगे तो आराम से आ जाएगा. लेकिन 50 साल का एक tree को निकाल के दूसरे जगह पे रखेंगे. Please see my YouTube. I have taken very recently the transplanted trees, how they are surviving or how they are dying. In Delhi, in Dwarka it is there, Sector 19 it is there, Sector 23 it is there. All trees are dying. They are making a patch of work. They are putting water daily as if they are saving these trees. Transplantation as good as killing. Lack of commitment. And again, lack of commitment on the part of the politicians because they want certain things to pass. That's all. Whoever is the government, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about any particular government. I'm talking about any XYZ government. All people, when they are coming to the helm of affairs, they are thinking that that they have changed the law for Delhi tree felling. The Delhi government, the central government is now bent upon finishing the India Gate, up to the India Gate, that Central Vistas is there, that will be raised down, and the buildings are going to come. A beautiful place. What a philanthropist is Lutyens. In those days, 50 years, 60 years, it has been sustaining itself. Now, what is the need for spending 40,000 crores in wasting our sorry, I'm just giving my own honest views. I'm not talking about any particular government or anything. I am against, for me, everybody is against those who are against environment. That's all. So, lack of commitment. Now, this red area, which is the overlapping area of this, in these three areas, dangerous point. If violating rules, intentional damage and lack of commitment are there, it is dangerous. Now the dilemma is, many people ask me whether environmental ethics must be voluntary or mandatory. No, I cannot say which is mandatory, which is voluntary. If you are committed, if you are going to close the tap when it is open, while you are brushing, then it is a voluntary work and you are having some commitment. When you are using your resources to the limited level, then yes, you are committed. When you are not committed, then we have to make it mandatory. We have to give the stick and say, no, you come on, attend, come on, do this one. So there is spare the child, spare the rod and spoil the child. The maxim. We cannot do that. Both have to go hand in hand. Who is responsible? Very quickly, I'll just wind up this thing. Who is responsible? Now, one is society. All of us. Society means not only your residential welfare society and the whole society. All of us are responsible. Don't blame the government alone. Government, yes, they are also responsible. Yes. Bureaucracy. No. What is bureaucracy? They cannot do, I recently read in newspaper in Tamil Nadu, one person, he's a pollution officer, pollution control officer. He has taken rishwat. Crores mein. When the CBI people went to his house, it was found that gold and ornaments were there, lying there, and currencies, huge currencies were lying there. So this is another, bureaucracy is also doing damage to that. If you are not going to follow it and getting some brave, and then you are going to violate the rules, yes, that's all. Government may say the government will give some norms and other things, you should follow it. And if you do not follow it, then bureaucrats are also responsible. Politicians, my God. I'm not going to talk about it. Politicians are the kings and queens here. Judiciary. Now, judiciary, I just want to tell one thing. When we went for any case against him, why not the judge who is sitting in the chamber will ask. He will ask the government representative, what is it you are doing? Why you are spoiling our environment? Why not you come on, reconsider it, go and come back. Next वायदा हो जाएगा अगले हफ्ते अगला महीने के बाद 2 महीने के बाद आने के बाद अच्छा sir we have got certain submissions they will submit them. Okay, environmentalists, what you are saying, sir, we are saying this is not correct, sir, environment will be affected. Nothing. Okay, what is that? We have to make a balance. So they are compromising. Even the judges, sorry to say that we cannot comment about judges. Even the judiciary is also failing, and we are paving the way for the disaster. I can give lots of examples. Media, TRP must be good. TRP is what they want. For that, they will deliberately enkindle one environmentalist and say that, what is that you are saying about it? And again, views and counter views, and ultimately all these things are for TRP. Finally, you and I, what are we doing? What we have done so far? Please have a checkup. Please make a self-audit. I'm just coming to that. Make a self-audit. Determinants of ethics are awareness, self-discipline, stringent rules, enforcement, accountability, reward and punishment. These are all the determinants of ethics. Ethics is not only self-determined. Self-discipline is very important, as I have given here. Self-discipline. Stringent rules is must. Enforcement. Rules must be enforced. And accountability. If anybody is violating, accountability must be fixed. If we are having all these areas systematically and properly designed and developed in our country, I tell you, our environment will be fabulous. Rewards and punishment for violations. Again, my cute bird, this is white eye called Indian white eye, which I photographed somewhere in Dwarka. Am I doing anything against nature? Personal eco-audit. Now coming to the last 2 or 3 slides, and I will just complete it very quickly. Am I doing anything against nature? First audit question you ask yourself. Am I doing anything against nature? When by putting AC, am I doing anything nature? Can I live without AC? If possible, I have to live without AC. And whenever heater also. If possible, I have to say without heater, I will live. And if there is no other way, then we have to compromise. Am I wasting anything? This is a simple question. A very simple question. I am coming to the down to earth questions. Am I wasting anything, including your food, cloth, and shelter, everything? Even white paper also, if you are using one-sided paper, I used to do it one side. I have got full drawers. If you see my drawers, full of one-sided paper will be there. I am using it, reusing it. Why to waste it? Am I eco-friendly? How much I am eco-friendly? Have a question to you. You will get the answer. I will not give the answer. You get your own answer. Can I change my family? Now you are these first 4 questions, 4 or 5 questions. You are going to change yourself. Then can I change my family? You have to change your family people. My wife, I used to keep green, blue, green garbage bins. No, we need to say. But what happens is when I keep blue, green, biodegradable, non-biodegradable, alag rakha. But when I give it, that fellow sweeper puts everything inside one dump and gets it going. And MCD people, SDMC people also, they will come and then you give segregated one. He will keep some blue color and yellow. They are also not. Blue color is for non-biodegradable, green color is for biodegradable. Then ultimately he puts all the drums inside one truck and he is taking it. Then out Ghazipur depot, Ghazipur area, then this Azadpur market ke paas. it is like mountain. Go and see the mountains if you want. You need not go to Himalayas to see them. There, you can see from Ghazipur Dam, you can see Qutub Minar, that will barabar hoga. Qutub Minar ka top and Ghazipur ka jo dump hai, garbage dump, dono barabar hai. So just take your family along with you. Now, once you are coming to, I am doing that. Now I am doing, can I contribute to the society? What I can do in the society? So, cleanliness in your area. Don't think of very, very big projects. Think of small things. I will always tell, I'm an environment NGO. I'm having it for the last 20 years, but never I go for a very big project. I just take the volunteers along with me, go to a park and clean all the plastics. People are very happy. Those volunteers are so happy. They love me all completely. Around hundreds of volunteers are there. They love me now. They are saying, sir, please, when are we starting it? Now I am saying that COVID-19 is that please wait for some time. Now this is the example I gave you. Water is going on, you are brushing. Small is big in the environment. This is what I said. Every Indian is wasting up to 45 liters of water per day. Even if you are going for a conservative estimate, at least 30 liters of water you are all wasting. We are all average per capita. And 163 million Indians don't have access to clean drinking water. 163 million means 16 crore. Our total population is 130 crore. We are all getting water, no doubt. And this is the reality. 21% of the communicable diseases are linked to unsafe drinking water. Communicable in contaminating water. So, every day 500 children are dying due to the diarrhea. We are not seeing all these things. We have to see all these things, Basically, we should be starting with small things. This is again about in Sartal, Nainital. My personal goal. Now I will tell my personal goal and then I will give you some your goals and then we will conclude it. My personal goals. Reduce the wastage. This is my, whatever best I can do, I am doing it. I am not saying that I am a very perfect wastage management manager. No. I am doing to my best. And I can list out also what are the things I am doing to waste management. Educate the people. Yes, awareness creation is very important. I am doing what now? Create awareness. No, you are all educated people. We must at least change 2 or 3 people, then it's good. At least 2 or 3 people, you change it and make them all eco-friendly. Love nature. Start loving nature. Nature will start loving you. Plant trees. As far as possible. On birthday, my birthday is coming. No, I'm going to plant trees. Last time I was celebrating my 40th anniversary with 40 trees planted in one particular place. To mark my, wedding anniversary, 40th wedding anniversary. I thought that I should not make a, visit to a big 5-star hotel. There I spent so many things. One dinner will be costing around 10,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees. Even a normal hotel. If you are a normal restaurant, if you are going 5,000 rupees, kacha hoga. Agar 3-4 log jayenge to will be luxurious. Why to do that one? Then I thought, okay, let us plant trees. I got some 20 rupees, 40 plants. I have taken 800 rupees. Some people, I have engaged them. Ansar University students came. All of us planted. And students, I always depend on students. Students came and we all planted. And they were also having the satisfaction of, yes, I have planted. And I had the satisfaction that on 40th anniversary is unforgettable for me. Because it was planting day. Walk or cycle, simple thing. I'm trying to do it. Keep it clean. Keep it clean anywhere. Neat and clean. Try to do in your own. Charity begins at the home. Do small things. I don't go for very, very big projects. Just do small things. Act now. Abhi nahi to kabhi hai. Kabhi nahi. So Rajinikanth ka wordings, the punch dialogue. He told that 1 month ago, he said, if not now, then when? He said. And now he said, if I am not now, never. Today he has changed his stand. I'm just for joke. So Rajinikanth, then he wanted to come to politics and now he is not in politics. 15, 20 days back, I'm going to change Tamil Nadu and I'm going to be the If not now, when? He said. And then now people are asking, if not now, when? Never. He is ready to die. So, if not me, who else? That's the thing. So, what students can do? Learn simple living, lead by example. You create the example, create awareness. Waste not, don't waste the money, invest the things. Not only money, anything, don't waste. Revisit your daily course. And your self-audit must start with the morning. From the time when you are getting up from your bed to the night, how I can save the things. Make one day audit. I don't say daily you do it. Make an audit one day and you note it in your diary and then say that, okay, these are the things which I can manage. So you are eco-friendly. I think I just give to the Nature Club one activity. You go for a Google form and try to list out what are the various ways how you can become eco-friendly. Or eco-friendly, you just give 5 marks. Okay, yes. 5 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranking. And tell several points, 20, 25 points, and ask them to find out what is your ranking. So this is how you can do it. Plant a tree, pick up the waste, avoid plastic, appreciate nature. This is what I would like to say. So friends, before I just give my activities, you must see it. I'm just giving it. See that one. Just 30 seconds. This is Miyawaki. He's an eco-warrior. These senior citizens are doing the plastic free and we are fighting for Bharat Vandana. Here it is Saturday Shramdan. It is very popular. Pavitra people are doing all these things and cycle, eco-friendly cycle, we have done it. This is tree planting. This is people again. These are 25 winners of awards, quiz contest. People tree before and after. This is a tree which was fallen down and we have re-erected it and I am there along with the tree has regenerated. Bollywood Sabar Ali is with us. And this is just I wanted to give you very quickly about this. And last but not least, I would like to request you all, please note down my number. Please join our Green Circle as a volunteer. You can join our WhatsApp group also. And kindly do me a favor. I'm just requesting you to do a small favor. Just see this YouTube. Now, I don't have much subscribers. You be my subscribers and remain connected to environment along with me, please. I'm coming with so many new items about environment, various aspects, chota videos, mental. So I'm just opening it for you. See how this is the channel, YouTube channel, and it is in my name, Border Selva. And this is one thing which I had recently on just you will have to click here and subscribe. And this is a full screen of this thing, a trek inside the jungle of Sattal. So I'm not going to show you everything. You just watch it in the video. I'm just I'm trying to post it in the link in. How can I post it here? Let me see whether I can post youtube.com/C/Border Selva. By doing this, you can reach me. Please, I will send a link to your some of your.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll take it from you and then we'll share it, sir.
Please share it, and I just want at least 50 subscribers from you. So I would love to have all of you as my subscribers. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I think
sir,
I have to.
Definitely subscribe to your channel. So
okay.
It was an interesting presentation.
Okay.
And you have rightly quoted in one slide, ethics fail when cognizance ends, when humans take an egocentric approach rather than eco-centric or nature-centric approach.
Yes, good. Thank you very much.
So I think now the session is open for questions and discussions. Participants can type the questions if they have any in the chat box. We'll see.
Anyone can be frank and just don't take it as your classroom. Just have casual. Yeah.
If anyone would like to ask anything, please, the house is open.
Any question related to environment or about birding? Yeah.
I want to ask one thing.
Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for enlightening us. Sir, I have a question. Like,
Okay.
whenever we attend such kind of seminars, all of us, like as a human, since we are not very into it, so it always happens that whenever we attend anything like that, then at that particular time, we feel, yes, we would be doing something. But what can be done to instill this feeling? Like it comes from within, that we have to definitely take care of our mother nature.
Yeah, you are correct.
But it will not be temporary within us. How can we?
Yeah, complete, please.
Like, how can we make this come from within, from each one of us? Like, we hear talks, we see something, sometimes we feel, and वो बहुत instant होता है. After some time, we forget that.
Yeah, you are correct, because of your daily routine, आप कहीं काम पे involved है, you have to present your papers, research papers. So इसमें आप क्या कर सकते हैं? इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपके personal audit होना चाहिए. That's why I am just giving you one small that I wanted to do it. Now I am giving this project to you. If any one of you can start it, you please start it. A Google form develop karo, and 10 or 20 questions you develop it. Give it ranking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and try to make them self-audit. It is self-eco-friendly audit. Just give it some name like that. I thought of doing it, but I have no time right now. So you do this one and let them come out. And the first thing I tell you, I had some a very nice question, Shika, you asked me before, about 30 years back, when I started with one of the groups, youth, young people. I was about 35 or I don't know what is my age at that time, but they were all college students. At that time, what I did was I took them out, first of all. I took them to a Western Ghats. Okay. And we had a trekking experience. First thing to create interest in nature is take them out for trekking. Yes, and they will find out. They were given teaching about how the topsoil is getting eroded, how much time it takes to form 1 foot of topsoil. It takes millions of years. These things, we created some interest in that. Now to tell them what is evergreen forest and how you have to remain in touch with nature. Birding, as I told you, myself, I had no motivator. I myself took the interest in the environment just because my interest in birds. Automatically, because I was a very bad student in zoology. I was not interested in zoology at all. But I developed this because of my professor. I thank him, great person indeed. Today, if I am doing something because of his basic inputs about that, that's why I started. First, I told you about that. Now, again, another question I am just giving is, start a small work. One of you, some nature club must be having some president, secretary, some core group must be there. You people sit in a meeting and try to tell what is to be done, practically, to make your presence. Guru Gobind University, kya kar rahe hai? Dwarka mein kya kar rahe hai? So that kind of things you can do it. You can do some kind of activities. Pollution check kar sakte hai. You can go to some Lalbati and sit there and take. I have done with Ansal University students once. They were sitting in Lalbatis in various points in Dwarka, and they were noting down how many cars are passing through, how many cars are. And if we are having some link with the police, we can say how many are having PUC under PUC certificate and all those things. We can find that also. So if you do that one and put it in the media, enormous weightage will be given to all these students' activities. And it is not just to be present in the media. It is going to help you to really what you can do apart from your research which you are doing in your college. This is it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome. You can be in touch with me. I can tell you what are the things which you can do. I have got number of ideas with me. I can tell you, but practical, not research oriented, I may not be having.
Okay, I think, sir, your way of presentation doesn't leave us scope for any doubt.
Okay,
so now,
thank you.
Now I would request Dr. Anuradha ma'am to give vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Komal. Good afternoon to everyone who's present here and a very happy new year. Myself, Dr. Anuradha Chuk, and I'm a faculty coordinator. And I really feel privileged that you have invited me to extend the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to definitely thank and take this opportunity to express my thanks to Mr. Selvarajan for gracing the occasion and enlightening us with this thought, wisdom, and ideas. Thank you so much, sir. How nicely you have explained us the importance of nature, and with the small things you have explained. We really need to understand that it's not at all the matter of affordability. It is actually the moral values which are far more important. How nicely you have explained that it's not that I can't afford the electricity bill, but actually I should be more cautious about the nature. And the way you have explained the importance of very small gestures like giving the water to the people tree. And, I'm really inspired to learn that, by doing very small things like switching off the lights or lowering the temperature of the AC or the geyser and everything, we can contribute a lot to the Mother Earth. We need to learn that since the society, government, bureaucracy, politicians, judiciary, and even the mass media is failing for the disaster, it's you and I who needs to do the self-audit, and we need to come forward and save the nature. I'm really inspired and feel motivated after listening this, and the way you have shaken our consciousness that are we doing enough for the nature. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and definitely I guarantee you that please share the link with us, and definitely we'll attach with this green circle, and we'll be contributing more for these activities and for the nature, of course.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I also extend my thanks to Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Sumit, Dr. Gaurav, my colleagues and faculty coordinators of the Nature Club for attending this session. I would also express my thanks to all the students for making this event a success. Thank you so much to all. And on your behalf, I'm promising that we definitely give importance to the sustained development. In the last, I would also request everyone to please give wider publicity to this Nature Club and inspire your friends also to join this club. The registration is already open and the Google form is available to the group. Please share that group and be the part of this group and contribute to the nature. And the email ID is also provided in the group, so you can circulate that so that anyone who wants to add himself to the group, they can mail it. And thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. And Dr. Sumit, you want to say something, please?
Thanks, Alva sir, for accepting our invitation in very short notice. This is our beginning of this session's first talk as well as 2021 New Year also. So we decided to who is really active in the field. Rather than we should have to invite some academician or some professors or senior scientist, it's better to invite a person who is actually doing something on the ground to show others. We all have to learn from a banker who is doing something on the environment. So we all student of technology or student of science must have to take up it as an initiative and learn from your work and experience that we all going to later and sooner in some of the activities you are conducting around Dwarka, and let all the mask down process starts with the onset of vaccine news. We are going to start some collaborative work soon. Thank you, Anuradha ma'am, for organizing this event in such a well-organized manner. And I would like to thank all the student coordinators, Subham Rawat and Komal and other students. Those are very actively trying to steer the entire student or university, because nobody is visiting university nowadays. So it's very tough to coordinate among the students, and it's a tough task to coordinate from the far end of the cities and get together in such a large number. So thanks all, and thank you ma'am, and thank you Salwa sir.
Thank you so much, Anuradha ma'am and Sumit sir, for your warm words. As all the good things come to an end in life, so is the webinar. I take this opportunity to give vote of thanks to our resource person, Mr. V. Selvarajan sir, to take out his time for this webinar. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence, sir. Now we are thankful to Professor Manpreet Kang and all the teacher coordinators. My heartfelt thanks to all the participants. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I request you to please share the link, sir. Definitely we'll join, sir.
Can I put it in the what do you call it?
You can give it to me, sir, on the WhatsApp, and then I'll circulate it, sir.
Okay, fine.
I'll contact you, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.